Funny how the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. Becoming the next Euler, Pythagoras, Newton, and all those other maths legends is not going to be easy. But I'm guessing you just want to get a good result in your maths test. So that's what we're going to learn today, my demonic Dominican donkey. Maths, mathematic, math, whatever you want to call it, is a skill. Yes, there are some people who are naturally talented, but that is valid for every single other skill available. Not having talent doesn't mean you cannot reach to their level with practice and hard work. So fix this in your donkey brain. You are not too stupid to understand maths. You just have been training and learning maths the wrong way. Lesson 1. Crawl before you walk and walk before you run. When you were 5 years old, you were counting the number of ants on the ground. And now you are doing calculus, algebra, geometry and all that skaboodle. From there to now, you had to go through a lot of years of maths topics, each increasing in complexity. The previous topics are like the requirements for the current topics. If you follow this thought process, even a donkey like you can stop being so lost. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but the topic I'm learning is completely new, which definitely has nothing to do with the previous topics. Well, first, no, you are kinda wrong. The current topic does have some aspects of the previous ones. You just haven't searched deep enough or haven't started looking at it with the teacher. And secondly, even if it is new, it's even better for you. It's like you're being introduced to a new game with new rules, so you're getting a new chance to learn. Maths is like several skill trees where some points intersect together. So you need to find what other routes you need to follow to understand your topic. Lesson 2. Deepen your understanding on how things work. It's a more detailed perspective of the previous point, so I'm gonna use an analogy, and I'll be using push-ups as an example. Say you are not able to do a push-up because you're very weak. Now, even if I called you out, stay with me because it's important. What you would do instead is knee push-ups and its variations. You need to understand the gist of the knee push-ups, so hand placement, core, glute activation, pelvic tilt, tempos, and everything else. And once you have fully understood the variations and all the factors affecting the knee push-ups, you will have mastered the knee push-up, and then you can move on to trying actual proper form push-ups. Wow, look at me. I'm also your fitness coach here. So for all the people who got called out, there you go. Here's your plan to finally get your first push-up. Now back to maths. Apply the same principle here. The topic you are finding difficult will have some easier prerequisite variations that you need to master. Challenge yourself there and boom! You have your big brain moment right there. For example, calculus, it has several roots connecting to it. And the main ones are algebra, functions, trigonometry and geometry. Focus on your weaker root. Let's say, for example, is algebra. Do you know how to manipulate polynomials? Do you know how to solve quadratic equations? Do you know the logarithmic properties? Like, deepen more and more until you can fully say that this root is completed and finally mastered. Lesson 3. Be ready to memorize some rules just for the sake of it. Now, I know I literally said the opposite in the previous lesson, but hear me out. Say, for example, trigonometry. The whole origin of sine, cosine, tangent and its history is a whole another story, and your donkey brain might not be able to handle that. If you're interested, then yeah, sure, go for it and research. But there will be some extraterrestrial language and numbers and even more complicated rules that you need to follow. All of that just to understand at the end the SOHCAHTOA rules of trigonometry and the sides of triangles and what is adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse, etc. etc. Just be ready to accept some things just as they are. These are like your base rules or formulas that you just need to memorize. Lesson 4. Practice. Now, the common saying says, practice makes perfect, and I say no, that's wrong. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes progression. Nothing can be perfect, but we can reach close to it through progress. If there was a pill that could make you magically good at something, I know for a doubt that you would take thousands of those pills. But while you're at it, you might as well take pills that make you less ugly and less stupid. But unlucky for you, they don't exist. So the best way to reach that level of genius in terms of maths is to practice and learn from your mistakes. You'll make a lot of them, and then you need to check why you made those mistakes. Over time, you will notice patterns and start to see step-by-step processes that will lay out how you should be solving those mathematical problems. Practice, practice, and practice. The more you do, the more you will grasp, and the better your vision for those patterns will rise. Because one day, when that demon trick question comes in your exam, and I know for a fact that you know what is a demon trick question, you will be able to say "F you" and conquer it. You will not be surprised, and in fact, it will almost seem easy for you. You will keep thinking, why I was so stupid before. And that is exactly what practice does. It makes you more prepared. And lesson 5, just ask for help. Listen, maths is a hard subject. It's completely different from anything else because it's not very expressive and creative like some other subjects are. So it's normal to find it hard to understand. So have some courage to ask your teachers or your companions. Send your teachers an email asking a question if you're that shy in class. Watch some tutorials online. Get some coaching. You're watching this video because you seeked for help and had the will to change yourself. So do the same by asking for help. A donkey is deemed stupid, but it's one of the smartest animals on earth. So unlock that potential by not always relying on yourself, but relying on others. Your best sources are teachers, whether these are the school ones or tutor ones or online ones. Another thing you can do is ask your classmates who you know are the best at maths. You know for sure that in your class there is a guy or girl that is super genius at maths. So ask them how they study, how they process all these topics, how they revise. Well, yes, now you know how to study maths. But how will I know that you will not get distracted while studying? You are a donkey after all with the attention span of a camel. Well, my friend, no worries, cause I got you. There you go. The best ways to not get distracted.